So what caused one of my first relapses after I got clean and sober? Well, I got clean and sober, off drugs, feeling good, stayed completely sober for about a year or two, and then started to drink just like on the weekends and stuff like that. And of course, I had convinced myself that alcohol wasn't really the problem, it was the drugs. And so did that for a while. And my dad ended up meeting this guy, Dan, who we're good friends with now. But he hires all the acrobats, performers, aerialists that work in these shows, the SeaWorlds, Orlando, San Antonio, and California. And so they were looking for divers at the time. My dad said, Johnny, you got to put in a demo and try and get a job there. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So put together a demo, ended up getting the job and moved to San Antonio, Texas. And that was a really amazing time in my life. I met my wife. She was a professional synchronized swimmer in the show and made lifelong friends there and just had so much fun. Worked there for about 3 years. And then I put in a demo to work for Cirque du Soleil in the O show. That was a dream of mine. So I remember for 2 years straight, I was training on Russian swing because they had it in the show out there, in the O show. And I was like, that's going to be my ticket in. I have to get really good at Russian swing. And so that's what I did. And I got a job for Cirque du Soleil, moved out there with my wife from Texas to Las Vegas. And that was amazing. I was performing in that show for 7.5 months, 8 months. And during one of the shows, I was doing a 2.5 twisting 2.5. So it's a blind entry off Russian swing. And I went in just funky and kind of hurt my back, man. Something just like popped. I went in real crooked. I got out, kind of shook it off, went up to do the high dive, and then did the high dive. And then that was the last show. And I went home, sat down, and about 2 hours later, I went to get up and my back hurt so bad that I could barely move out of that chair. And so the next day I went and got MRIs and all that stuff done. And I had fractured my L3 spinous process and had like compression fractures. And it was just beat up from a few other injuries that I had during my career. And I never got it checked out because I was just young and dumb. So they prescribed me pain pills. Now, I have been off of drugs since I was about 20. And I was in so much pain that I just rationalized that old behavior, that old mindset, that addictive personality of rationalizing, well, I'm in pain, I really hurt myself, and I'll just take it as prescribed. And then when the injury gets better and I don't need them, I'll stop taking them. Yeah, right. Not this guy. So that caused my first relapse. And I got really bad. I went from performing in one of the number one top rated shows in Las Vegas to broke and homeless in about 8 months. It got real bad. And it was terrible. Very dark, depressing time of my life. And eventually I just threw my hands up and I said, I just got to quit. I need to change my life. I need to do something. Because at this rate, I would have been dead or in jail. And so I got clean and sober, 2013, and stayed sober for a long time. I got married to the love of my life. And stayed clean and sober for a while. And then same thing, I just rationalized and said, I can handle just drinking because, everybody does it. And it's hard because of how readily, easily available it is to get and how accepted it is. But man, does it destroy lives. And that's what happened the first time that I relapsed. And then I got clean and sober for a while. And then I started to drink again. And this last time I was drinking for about 4 years. And by the end of it, I was drinking, a pint of Fireball and a pint of vodka every day for like 5 months. So, and I was like 132 pounds. So I've been sober now for over 10 months and it feels great. And so I'm making this TikTok so I can share my story, inspire and encourage others that are fighting the fight, that are struggling with substance abuse, drug addictions, alcoholism, the gamut. And just want to encourage you, say you can do it. Day one is hard, but you're going to look back at it and you're going to be so thankful that you went through those uncomfortable, difficult days, because on the other side of that, sobriety and accomplishing and going after your goals and truly deciding on the life you want to live and the legacy you want to leave, and the impact you want to have, but also just, this, as far as we know, this is a one-time journey. Could have been here before, could come back. I don't know, but I do know that we have one life from birth to death, and I think that it's so important to find out or discover what your purpose is, like, who am I? And start doing that inner work of really loving yourself and learning who you are and expressing yourself and being authentic. So that's it for today. And until next time, rock it out, guys. Have a good one.